Hello, this is Boldine, and I am going to be playing Super Meat Boy. However, I'm not going to be playing as Meat Boy.
Push the buttons!
What you just heard is the sound that plays on the PC when you enable Tofu Boy. This is done by pressing P-E-T-A-P-H-I-L-E in rapid succession on the character select screen. It only works when you do character selecting from the map. Now this isn't me sucking at the game. This is Tofu Boy being a crappy character. He has no capability of running, and no capability of jumping. It took almost a minute just jumping halfway up that wall, as you saw. Here's where I found out that you cannot select Tofu Boy, you cannot enable him from the in-level switch character screen. So I just went back to map. You're going to see that happening a lot, because there are some levels that you actually can get through as Tofu Boy. This is going to be a complete Let's Play of the first world of the game, the forest. And sometimes my keyboard doesn't like to accept...
Push the buttons!
There we go. Again, I am actually holding the run button down, and look how slow he's moving. And jumping up the wall, not a piece of cake. Now, when I was recording this, I was using fraps, and it was giving me some problems with frames per second and losing a lot of them occasionally, which is why you see me falling down a lot. Because Tofu Boy, in my opinion, he seems to slide a lot quicker than Meat Boy does. And there you have it, one level that can be done as Tofu Boy. This level, not possible. So, I immediately switched around to Meat Boy, and quicker than you can say, haha, screw you. Yeah, I gotta say, it's the perfect Take That to PETA, because they made their Super Tofu Boy Flash game, and Team Meat said, okay, you want to make fun of us? We'll make fun of you. Again, this level, very easy to complete as Tofu Boy. It just takes a lot longer than any other character, because he gets no speed, and he cannot run, so he gets no accelerated jumping. And his single wall climbing is abysmal. It's the perfect character if you really want to challenge yourself, but other than that, it's just painful. I mean, you'll get 9/10 of the way through a level with him, and then realize you can't go any further. Which, in my opinion, it's just not fun. I mean, sure, you can challenge yourself to see how far through a level you can get, but, you know, look at that gap up there. There's no way he can get across that gap, as I found out the hard way. He just doesn't have enough speed. So, once again, I switched to Meat Boy, because I didn't want to leave these levels undone. That would look horrible. And nobody's perfect, but I like to think that I do a decent job with this game. I haven't got it, you know, I haven't completed the entire game yet. As you can see, I'm only 98% complete on the forest. I've got 2 bandages in one of the warp zones that I haven't gotten yet. Now, I've got all the warp zones, I just can't get those bandages.
Push the buttons!
Now, this level, you know, I screwed up once near the beginning, jumped a little too far. Can't believe I said that with Tofu Boy, but it's true. Thing is, this level cannot be completed. Now look how low that jump is over that saw. I bet you already know where I found out that this level was impossible. Because that saw at the end is bigger than the other 2. Goodbye, Tofu. Hello, Meat Boy. No, wait, I went with Ogmo on this. Sorry, I recorded this about 3 or 4 hours ago.
Push the buttons!
Yes, this level. I couldn't do it with Tofu Boy, but someone else who's a little bit better with perfect twitch reflexes might be able to. Because Tofu Boy can get all the way up to this wall on the left of the one he's jumping up right now, and that upper portion of it that's slightly more to the right, he can just barely latch onto, as you just saw. However, I don't have the reflexes to perfectly time it to be able to jump off after that brief latch on, and I think I only was able to get onto it once more, and again, only for a very brief time. So if anyone else can actually complete this level as Tofu Boy, more power to you. I couldn't do it, I kept trying, but eventually I ended up just throwing myself onto the saw here, and then going through it as Meat Boy the quick way. Which, you know, the fastest way to go through this level as Meat Boy is to jump up this wall on the left here, hop over that saw, oh, that was a Fraps-induced fall, and just jump right across.
Push the buttons!
Yes. I forgot which level this one was when I selected Tofu Boy for it. Otherwise I wouldn't have bothered. I would have just gone through it with Meat Boy. Tofu Boy, yes, that small box down there is a safe place to stand, but there's no place else. There's no other way for him to go through this level. Which means, hey, time for the head crab. Yes, the head crab. Screwed up on that one. The head crab is actually a very interesting character. I've been told that it's a lot like Gish on the 360 version. However, it's also very different from Meat Boy. The head crab can stick to walls and can actually fly along ceilings, believe it or not.
Push the buttons!
I tried to do this level as Tofu Boy. You already probably know exactly what's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to make it up that right wall with the disintegrating blocks. Tofu Boy just doesn't get enough height off the jumps. So, onward to Meat Boy and upward to the top of the level. Which, again, much, much easier. And I think I ran through Bandage Girl there on a Fraps-induced frame loss. But who cares? And that's where I had to cut out a lot of time because I got called away from the keyboard. This level. Ugh. A very easy level for most characters. For Tofu Boy, impossible. He simply doesn't have enough height on the jump to clear the saw blades. Or rather, he does, but he only touches the bottom brick, which disintegrates, dropping him right onto the middle. Now, I actually have gotten the achievement for getting through the forest without dying once, which is called Wood Boy. I didn't even try Tofu Boy on this level. I knew he wouldn't be able to make any of the jumps. So, it was just me going through it with Meat Boy. As you can see, a very quick level if you know what to do. And another level that I knew that there was no way in hell Tofu Boy could finish it. This one. I went to the map, I tried Tofu Boy, it's not possible. Tofu Boy just cannot make it over the saw blade. But I found that out the hard way, and you know, it's relatively easy to get to the top of the walls, but he just doesn't get enough height. And I know I've said that a lot, but it's really the only thing that can be said. He just can't jump. This level, I wasn't even going to try it with Tofu Boy, because I knew that he would be able to make it around those saws on the first walls. Now this level, believe it or not, Tofu Boy can complete this level.
Push the buttons!
Now, I screwed up twice. On this one, I mistimed my jump and landed right on top of the saw, and this one, Fraps caused my button input to fuck up, and I never jumped. But it is possible to make it up this wall, up the next wall, through the saw blades at the top, and all the way to Bandage Girl with Tofu Boy. You're under a severe handicap, and it takes close to a minute to do it, as you're going to see, but it is entirely possible. Now, you can make it across this gap at the top at a lower point than I went on this wall in order to do it, but I didn't want to risk falling on top of the saw blade. This level I screwed up on early, but just to see if it was possible, I stuck with it with Tofu Boy. And lo and behold, this level can be completed. You just have to be able to time your jumps perfectly in order to avoid the saws. And then the next shaft, of course, make it so that you don't get hit by one of the saws going down it. This level, completely impossible. Now, I managed to get all the way up to the left-hand side of the wall before I remembered, oh wait, there's a gigantic gap. So, what you're going to see is how far you can get before I ended up cutting it out, and yeah, I screwed up on the platforming there. You can make it all the way up to the top of this wall, and that's it, because the gap at the top is just too damn wide. So, here's Meat Boy's run-through of it, once again making Tofu Boy look like the chump he is. This level, I thought maybe Tofu Boy could do it, then I remembered what level it was.
Push the buttons!
Yeah, you can just barely get the edge of the first platform, and if you have the right reflexes, you can jump up on top. After that, I just couldn't make it onto the platform again at all. And then even then, after that, what is he going to do? Tofu Boy doesn't jump far enough to make it to any of the other platforms from there. But Meat Boy makes this level into a joke. I don't know how I was able to skip the Dr. Fetus grab and go with Bandage Girl. This level I didn't even try with Tofu Boy. It would be completely impossible. But, to the people that do this level very slowly, look how quickly you can go through it. And this level, again, I didn't even try with Tofu Boy. It would be impossible. So my final verdict on Tofu Boy, a nice joke from the developers, a nice character to challenge yourself with, but completely worthless in the long run. I'm not going to show you the boss, that's for people that are actually